Good evening, everyone. Hi, Carl. How are you? How's the assignment coming along? I see it's only you on our session today. I think everyone's still busy working on their assignment, so we'll try and keep it quick. How's your assignment coming along? I know you had quite a few questions at the NSS on Monday, so were all your questions answered? Do you? Oh, but you had so many, or was it not? Oh, shame. Okay, so you listen, there's still plenty time to do it, so it doesn't really matter. I know you'll have to get it done. Let's just quickly check how many days are still. There's still enough time. Yeah, there's still plenty time still. One and a half. Still 2 weekends to do it. Yeah. So I know you were in the NSS as well. I think Henny did a great job of explaining things quite a bit. So I just wanted to tell everyone who is going to be listening online to the recording that my name is incorrect here. Somehow it has logged me in as something very strange. So I don't know, and it's locked. I can't undo do it. So if you see anything from, I think they called me Ross or Rose or something like that, but it is definitely Kim that is speaking. I don't know, must be an error somewhere, but yeah. So anyways, welcome to the session. We'll quickly run through assignment 2. If you've got any questions, please let me know. I know that you guys are going to spend some time working on it now going forward. I know that there are lots of other things that are due and all sorts is happening in October, so just try and keep focused, keep remembering why you are doing this, and just one step at a time, and then many steps, many small steps will get you that giant step over the graduation stage soon. So just keep focused and just try and get everything done. Just keep ticking those boxes. Hey, just know that we are proud of you. So your assignment again is a continuation from the same app that you would have used from NetBank and the other app that you've got there that that you've already used. We're just going to be looking at different sort of concepts when it comes to that as well. But in general, the report remains the same. So we're following the same structure. You can use the same cover page that you would have already used in assignment 1, so you can reuse it. You don't have to go and change the report structure itself stays the same. We are writing it to the same board of directors. We are applying it in the same way. As obviously the information is different, but the structure of the report in essence remains the same as well. Okay, so we've got our introduction and our conclusion, which counts for 10 marks, and then we've got our question 1, question 2, and question 3, which is the body of our essay, which is our 90 marks as well. So that is exactly how you would have known it from assignment 1 as well. Okay, the assignment 1's just going off track, went really well. I know that I have submitted the marks only this morning, so they do take a few days to process, but in general, most of the students did well. I was very happy with the marks for both of my groups as well. So well done to you guys, and thanks for that hard work. It makes my job a lot easier when you guys apply yourselves. So thank you for that. Let's move back onto assignment 2. So take the feedback from assignment 1, and again, you will see I would have said introduction is not sufficient, and then obviously use that feedback, which you will hopefully get then by Monday, the latest, once they've processed and verified everything. Use the feedback in creating. So don't make the same mistakes. If it's a referencing error or something I would have specified, you need more application, or this theory isn't correct, or whatever. So just read the feedback and apply it in your reports as well. So you've got a general introduction and a general conclusion for 10 marks. In your introduction, use any different definitions. So tell the reader of the report what is expected, what is going to come. So give them an introduction as what are they going to be reading about. So maybe you want to introduce the app again. So you want to introduce the super app. You want to explain to the reader what is it about. You want to explain to them how they want to expand their business a bit further. And you're going to be looking at doing all of that as well. Okay, so in the introduction, a lot of definitions are needed. Then you've got your body, which is your 3 main questions. Conclusion ties everything up, sums it up, make those recommendations that need to be made, reiterate of those suggestions that you would have suggested in question 1, 2, and 3. So you're just going to tie everything up and reiterate, rewrite those suggestions and the conclusions that you would have had from question 1, 2, and 3. Question 1 is a big question that you would have here for 60 marks. Okay, here we're going to be looking at how Avo wants to expand into a multinational organization. Okay, so under the guidance of Nedbank, this app wants to go international. So they want to become bigger, they want to expand. It is their form of growth. So they want to expand into this multinational organization, and your job is to analyze whether you think this is going to be a good idea for Avo or not. Okay, and this information will start on page 375, where they look at how a multinational organization actually develops. So what are the steps that a multinational organization goes through in order for them to evolutionize, to come into existing? And you'll see there is a diagram on page 375 which explains it quite nicely as well. And you are going to theoretically explain those steps. So you're going to look at an outline of these steps that you would need. Okay, so you can see here we've got a lot of theory coming through. So you're going to take each one of those 5 steps and you're going to just elaborate on them in more detail. So give an outline of each one of those steps on how a multinational enterprise comes into existing. How does it come about? How does it start? What is the process it follows to grow into a multinational enterprise? So for this question, you are just looking at an outline of it. It's a theoretical question that you're going to be looking at, and then you can focus on the application in the next 2 points as well. So the next 2 points would be where your application is going to come in. The second point that you're going to look at, a macro environmental analysis on Botswana. Okay, so remember to keep your head. What is a macro analysis? It's our external analysis where we use our acronym for PESTLE, okay, or PESTI. So you're going to take each one of those factors: political, economic, environmental, technological. You're going to take those factors and you're going to apply them to Botswana. So what is the economy like in Botswana? What is the legal environment? What are the laws that you need to be aware of? If you wanted to take your business into Botswana, what are some of the legal policies? What are some of the technologies that they have or don't have in the country? How would you to define the exchange rates? Okay, so what is the currency between South Africa and Botswana and the exchange rate thereof? Those are obviously economic factors. So complete a full-on environmental analysis on Botswana. So do each one of those factors from the PESTLE and apply it to Botswana. And then you'll see on the next page, you're going to take all that information that you have used, and on page 396, they give you ways in which you can enter into a market, how you can expand internationally. So you need to choose one of those strategies that will allow you to enter into the market. Okay, so if you move on to page 398 as well, they also give you strategies on how to enter foreign markets as well. So how else can you enter into the foreign market? How can you enter into a foreign market? Okay, so you can go after we have discussed it, we updated this after that NS. Remember, if you remember, and we said you can also focus on page 398 there. So you can also use those strategies on page 398. That is going to be acceptable. Sorry. So what you're going to do is you're going to say, I would suggest that Avo focuses their multinational strategy in a way of a joint venture. So I would recommend that they enter into a joint venture with an organization or with a bank that is already in existence in Avo. So make your recommendation. So after you've done the pestle, say, what do you recommend? It would be recommended that Avo follow a franchise, that they maybe open up a new branch in Botswana. So they follow a franchising method of entry or mode of entry. Or you can say, they should export their products if that's what they are doing. Okay. So you're going to find an appropriate strategy and just support your answer. So give reason as to what. Remember that you and a classmate might have something different. You might have a different answer, and that is okay. You're allowed to have a different answer for this question as well. As long as you can support your recommendations, as long as you are able to say why you think Avo needs to franchise or export or consider a joint venture. Okay. As long as you are able to support and to give a guide for that, you would be absolutely fine for that question. So the question itself counts 60 marks. So it's quite a lot of information that you need to write. They have given you a word limit. So they have said 800 words is the limit. But remember, guys, we did discuss it. You guys can go a little bit over that word count. We do know that to write 60 marks worth of information, doing a pestle study, making recommendations might take you over 800 words. So that is is okay. You're allowed to be over that word count. Okay. Yeah, so I think that's everything from question one. Take it in small chunks. So take it first part, the theory. Outline the typical evolution. Use the diagram on page 375. It's going to help you. You can just edit it, rewrite that diagram in your own words, and that's going to be fine for that answer. Do the pestle analysis. So take each one of the factors of the pestle analysis and analyze Botswana's environment. Okay, so analyze the environment in which they see themselves. Remember, you need to give the application here. So don't just do a pestle definition and theory. You need both the theory and then the application. So we need to see the application there as well. Thirdly, very important, look at an appropriate strategy for Avo to expand into Botswana. So how can they enter into the foreign market? What are they going to do in order to enter into the foreign market? Pick one and support that answer. So don't if your gut is telling you that you are going to pick something, pick it and just find the support for that answer as well. Okay, because there are more than one options here. So don't spend too much time trying to figure out which is the right option. There are more than one option here. As long as you are able to identify it and then support. So if you can get the application correct, then obviously you will get your marks. Obviously there are some that are more correct than others, but if you are able to support your recommendation and it makes sense and it is theoretically sound, you will get your marks for that question. Okay. Sorry, I've got a bit of a cough here. Question 2, for 20 marks. Again, we're looking at different leaders. And again, a lot of the information is in our textbook, and that serves as a good starting point for you to be able to see that as well. So if they're giving you a word count, 250, 400. Again, you do have some leeway with that. So just remember that is applicable as well. And here we're going to focus on the leaders that they would have. Okay. So at this stage, we are going to make a recommendation for those leaders. So we are looking at strategic, visionary, and managerial leaders. In your textbook on page 428, they give you those blocks in the diagram there. They explain all the different leaders. You can take that information once again, rewrite it, paraphrase it, show the understanding. So show us that you actually understand what you have written and differentiate between the two. So say how they differ. How does a strategic manager differ from a visionary manager, differ from a managerial leader? So what are the differences in the leadership styles, in the way that they lead, in how they lead? Okay. in their attitudes towards the employees and the organization. So, what is the difference between a strategic leader, a visionary leader, and a managerial leader? Theory question. So, the first part, theoretical. Take your textbook, start on page 428, rewrite those bullet points that you see there into a logical paragraph and differentiate between them. So, say strategic leaders think in such a way, whereas visionary leaders think in this way. Okay, so you have to have the comparison. You have to be able to show that you have differentiated. We don't just want a definition for strategic, visionary, and managerial. We want you to be able to differentiate. Tell us what is the difference between them. And then, very, very important, for the balance of those 10 marks, advise the team at AVO which type of leader is going to be most beneficial to their organization and say why. So you're going to say, I would recommend AVO uses a strategic leadership approach because, bum, 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 you're going to just give all your support answers there. I believe that AVO should use a visionary leadership approach because, give all your reasons. So as long as you are able to have the application and the support, that is where you're going to get all your marks from. So all your marks are going to come from that application for this second part of the question. So you've got 10 marks for the differentiation here for bullet point 1, 10 marks for there, and 10 marks for telling AVO which one you would recommend. So you're not going to get marks just for writing the theory. Your marks are going to come by saying this is what is going to be most beneficial for them. So I would recommend that AVO uses, let's say, for example, a visionary leader because AVO would need a leader that is proactive and that can change the way people think. And this is exactly what AVO needs. AVO needs that leader that can make good choices and that can sort of think on their feet and get people to follow them. That is what a visionary leader's characteristics are, and that would be well suited to AVO. And then the final part for the last 10 marks is discussing any ethical factors that that the AVO leaders should consider when they're doing the expansion. So what ethical factors should they consider? And you remember, if you listen to that NSS from Monday as well, Henny was explaining this very nicely. Keep it simple here as well. What ethical factors should we consider? So what governmental factors are there? What ethical factors with the terms of going into a different culture, a different society, what ethical factors should we consider when expanding into Botswana? He did also say that he was going to send some slides for us. He will do that today or tomorrow. As soon as I receive that information, I will go and post it in more resources. And then if you do remember from the NSS, he showed exactly which points we need to include into that as well. So I will go and make sure that I share those ethical considerations, and you take those ethical considerations and you apply it into this expansion into Botswana. And that basically is the assignment. I know I went through it quite quickly, but let me know if there are any questions. Carl, if you've got any questions, let me know. I know you haven't started on it just yet, but when you do start on it this weekend, email me any questions that you have. Remember, those of you who are listening to the recording, if you are also working on it, please let me know, guys. If you've got any questions, I can always respond via email, or we can set up a one-on-one session and we can also unpack it in more detail. There is also another Q&A session scheduled for our class, so we can all come together. I think it is next week, or I just want to double check that date that it is on our semester planner. Give me just 1 second so that one is on the 18th of October. So on the 18th of October at 7:30, so same time as this, we've got a Q&A session again. So if you do have any other questions, that's right before that, gives you a few days to sort of implement those changes that you might need to make once I've answered your question. So you've got more than enough time to get started on the assignment. Good luck, everyone. Keep your eyes open for those results for assignment 2, and again, use that feedback to go forward with it. So listen both to the NSS. There was a lot more detail in the NSS, so I think that was very, very good. And then just focus here is where I put all the page numbers on one document for you guys as well. Yeah, so good luck, everyone. Let me know if you need absolutely anything else. I will go and put this recording up, and yeah, good luck, and especially to you as well, Carl. Good luck. Thank you for always taking time to join in these sessions. It is a